Hey guys, what's up? So today I will be reviewing Resident Evil 2 Remake. If you're unfamiliar with Resident Evil 2, then then this was the first game with legend Leon Scott Kennedy. And in Resident Evil 2, on his very first day of his new job as a Raccoon City police officer, the very infamous G virus is released by the by the Umbrella Corporation. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what the G virus is, basically basically if you or I were to get the G virus, then we would be turned into zombies. But if you gave the G virus to say your dog, then basically your dog would then turn into a giant creature, s- s- straight out of Rampage, and that would be terrifying. I I I fully enjoyed this game. I loved everything about it. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So let me tell you let me tell you the things that I liked. I liked uh, f- I liked first. I loved how much more personal Leon was in this game than than Chris in the first and the fifth one. Leon is more wittier, he's funnier, he's he's way more personal. Like he actually shows a wide range of emotions. It's so refreshing to see Leon as so young, and so 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 inexperienced. This was his very first day as a cop, and he certainly looks like it, and I love that. My first two Resident Evil games were a Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 4, where Chris and Leon both looked um, way more experienced and just way more them, if that makes sense. So it's really cool actually to see him look so young in this game. I I loved the fact that they they got rid of the fixed camera angles of the original Resident Evil 2, and and they they switched it to the traditional over the shoulder cam, um, f- from Resident Evil 4. It looks so much better, honestly. It's it makes it to be a much more terrifying experience. This game was very scary. I don't get scared easy, and this game scared me. It's so much there's so much dread in the atmosphere. It's very dark. This is a dark game, and Leon is using his flashlight for he's using his flashlight for a large percentage of of this game. When you first get to the Raccoon City police station, except for the main hall, the whole entire rest of the station is completely dark, which makes for a terrifying experience. and 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 also also you have to slowly find the correct electrical parts to turn on the lights. And and there are tons of areas that will never have the lights on, and it will be always dark. And that makes for a very dark atmosphere. Uh, literally, and and it just gives the game so many chances to scare the crap out of you. This game is very haunting as well. It feels like any second a massive like zombie or creature can jump at you. And also much like the zombies in the first one, these zombies don't freaking die. These zombies, I sh- I literally will sit there and shoot the same zombie 5 times in the head. 5 times. Then I turn back around and start walking in the opposite direction, um, and then all of a sudden, that same zombie will 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 stand right back up, and I have to shoot him 3 or 4 more times. It it's very frustrating, but it's also very awesome. It's very frustrating because much like uh, much much like much like the classic Resident Evils, um, uh, ammo is very hard to find. There's not a lot of it at first. There's not a lot of it. You have to you have to figure out new ways to create your own ammo. And and that is a really cool and much more realistic aspect in my opinion. Now I love the zombies. I love the zombie dog, but most of all, I love Mr. X or Tyrant. I loved Tyrant in this game. He was he was very scary at first. Um, when you're first introduced to him, he comes out of nowhere, and then he continues to follow you and track you and follow you some more. F- he he tracks you for a large percentage of this one a section, and it takes a long time to 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 it takes a long time to find to find the individual necessary items to get past the section, and he's chasing you the entire time. Now there are ways to make him less likely to find you, but that's it. And you can't kill him. You just can't kill him. You can shoot him 3 or 4 times in the head and uh, bring him down to his knees for like 15 or 20 seconds. But that's it. That's literally it. And that makes for just a very very anxiety ridden experience. This game, like I said, is totally amazing. I love every bit of it. There's not really anything I dislike. The uh, the only thing, and this is, and this is a nitpick. The only thing that I don't like is that is is that is that when later on in the later on in the game, sorry, there's a there's a very there's a very short section where Leon gets hurt, and and you have to switch to his you have to switch to someone else known as Ada, and 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 uh, that whole section is really cool. But having said that, it was kind of it's kind of it kind of sucked to go from having so many healing items and so much pistol ammo and so much shotgun ammo and stuff. It sucked to go from that to literally having nothing. Nothing except for 9 rounds in your pistol and a hacker gun, which that single point of negativity is also really awesome. Um, and it's and that in itself is also another 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 note of another note of positivity, because going from having everything and totally knowing your way around 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 the station, and completely knowing the ins and outs of the game, to go from that to being thrown in a completely a new location and having nothing again and completely starting back over, that was cool. That made it so much less pre pre predictable, and it made it so much scarier again. And and the reason why I am solely talking about the Leon run through rather than the Claire run through is because I didn't have a chance to get through the Claire campaign before I posted this review. I was so excited to talk ab- about this game that I did not want to wait. I loved this game. I think that this game is absolutely perfect. Um, there's really nothing wrong with it, honestly. There's nothing wrong. I will give Resident Evil 2 Remake a 10 out of 10. I This game is perfect. It's perfect. And it makes me really want to lower the score I gave Resident Evil 1. I gave Resident Evil 1 a 9.5 out of 10. And and you know, after going through Resident Evil 2, I feel like that game doesn't deserve a 9.5. So I guess I'm going to officially lower my rating of Resident Evil 1 to a 7 out of 10. I know it won't make any difference because oh well. Oh well, it's fine. But that's how much I loved Resident Evil 2. This game, it's so good that it makes me look at uh, Resident Evil 1 and say, wow, this game is better. Like leagues above it. Um, they took the very dark, dense atmosphere and zombies and combat style of the first one and they expanded on it, man. I tell you what, they expanded on it tenfold, and I love it. I love it. Love, 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 love it. If you haven't had a chance to go through the Resident Evil 2 remake, then do it, guys. Right now, if you have an Xbox One, Resident Evil 2 remake is $20 on the Microsoft Store. Guys, do it. Just buy it. It's worth it. It's well worth it. It's an amazing game, and I highly recommend it. I love each and every one of you, and guys, thank you so much for continuing to watch my channel. It means so much. If you liked this review, then I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. And guys, I will see you. I will see you in the next video. The next video when I talk about Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Thanks, guys. Bye.